Bret Hart told the Outsiders to stay out of his business in what would be the start of the long-term storyline payoff over the next month, continuing as Cena attacked Bret with Hall and Nash coming out to join and subtly stop him. After writing off Hogan savaging Flair in the last 2 weeks, Goldberg and Page will also miss tonight's show with them in LA shooting scenes for the upcoming Ready to Rumble movie. Meanwhile, both Hogan and Flair updated on their status with the company during the week, with Hogan doing several media interviews half in character continuing to work the angle saying that the new writers said that they didn't have anything for him creatively, while Flair did an out-of-character interview talking about the product improvements since the new regime took over, while mentioning that as of now the word he got was him returning to TV in January. The Outsiders were backstage throughout the first hour with Nash telling Hall that he can be his promoter, starting a mystery makeover with a hint of a familiar laugh over the next 30 minutes to be revealed at 9 p.m. WCW aired an interview with Scott Steiner talking about his recovery after undergoing back surgery last week. The interview, which was done completely out of character, saw Steiner explaining the severity of his injury, which bothered him in the last 2 years, made worse when the brace put in his shoulder caused him to lean to the left and re-aggravate his back injury, forcing him to go through the surgery with 8 to 10 weeks of therapy ahead of him. Steiner's last match was on May 9 at the Slamboree pay-per-view, with his future as a full-time wrestler going forward still in question. Nash came out at 9:05 for the makeover reveal, with the laugh giving it away earlier, coming out in a suit, wig and mask in a Vince McMahon parody. Nash went over several Vince sayings and mannerisms, saying that he single-handedly built sports entertainment, and unlike billionaire Ted, he didn't buy his way to the top because he borrowed the money, referring to Vince suddenly positioning himself as the underdog after putting every other promoter out of business. Nash then did a spoof on Steve Austin, introducing Scott Hall as the trouser snake and roughest SOB in WCW, while saying that someday he will work against Jeff Jarrett in reference to the cancelled Austin feud, and that he will continue to push him as a babyface until fans regurgitate him, with Hall coming out saying that he ain't burning the bridge up north before mocking Vince's clothes. The opening segment, doing a 3.2 quarter, was also WCW's peak rating of the night. Rock opened Raw to a huge ovation from the Washington crowd, with the sold-out MCI Center covered in Rock lexicon from top to bottom. Coming out to hype Survivor Series and his match with Road Dogg coming up in a rare Rock match in the first hour. What on the surface looked like a routine pay-per-view hype promo, created some buzz backstage due to Rock's 2 of the 3 targets in the promo being Austin and Road Dogg. As the promo comes with Rock and Road Dogg having legit heat, with them trading shots and media interviews over the last few months, with Road Dogg saying that success got to his head and Rock responding calling him an insecure loudmouth, showing his jealousy. The other more talked about point was Austin's name being mentioned by Rock as a heel target alongside Triple H, leading to him getting a mixed reaction from the crowd, with Rock then continuing saying that he's gonna tie the rattlesnake up in a knot, which got another big babyface pop, reportedly escalating the competitive real-life Austin-Rock dynamic, which saw Rock getting the bigger babyface reactions during their recent interactions, with a fired-up Austin set to respond to the promo later in the show. Rock and Road Dogg went a minute before DX's interference. WCW had Curt Hennig with Father Larry in the front row versus Disco next, with the constant stipulation of Hennig must retire the next time he gets pinned in a match, with Nash backstage continuing the Vince parody in a series of comedy backstage skits throughout the show, making several inside references about McMahons dealing with talent and being one of the boys, while spoofing his "get it" saying from the WWF Attitude Super Bowl commercial in January. Raw jumped around 700,000 viewers to a 6.1 rating in the second quarter as the Big Show vs. Bossman feud continued to get wilder by the week after Show trapped Bossman and Albert in a car and smashed it with a dumpster Thursday on SmackDown, leading to a follow-up segment tonight with Bossman and Albert locking Show in a room with tear gas, along with an 8-man tag of 4 of the top tag teams in the company going 6 minutes. With Vince Russo mentioning constantly that he's not going to be an on-air character. In an interview on the WCW website 3 days ago, he talked about possibly doing a Seinfeld-type angle with him only heard on TV, with the camera shooting from the back to further advance the powers that be storyline. The concept was implemented with Jim Duggan asking for a spot on the show after his recent struggles, with Russo telling him that he only cares about the ratings and brushing him off to put heat on him as a heel. Raw's peak quarter of the night was next for the follow-up of the Bossman Show angle, along with a Mankind and Al Snow vs. Bossman and Albert tag match doing a 6.2 rating, ending up with Val burning up copies of Foley's book Have a Nice Day, coming after the book debuted this week at number 3 on the New York Times bestseller list. Vince McMahon continued to lead the TV writing team for the Raw and SmackDown scripts during the week, with Terry Taylor still not back after refusing to sign the no-compete clause in the new contracts offered by the company following the Russo-Ferrara jump, with talk continuing on him potentially jumping back to WCW if the deal in the top creative role is not reached with McMahon. After building the entire network on the show, SmackDown continues to trend upwards, with the show breaking all network records in the past few weeks, drawing some of the biggest numbers on television in the young adult and teen demos, doing a huge 10.2 rating, with the show overall averaging over 7.1 million viewers, the highest in UPN history. Next was Eddie Guerrero vs. Perry Saturn in a key on a pole match, with Tori in a shark cage and both Filthy Animals and Revolution groups at ringside, going 6 minutes with Eddie jumping to get the key, going against Chyna cutting a promo on Jericho, and a match with Stevie Richards. Steve Austin came out to a big reaction to open Raw's second hour for the upcoming match, with Billy Gunn bumping Raw 600,000 viewers, taking the microphone for his response to Rock's promo earlier. Austin cut a heated promo on Rock, saying that Rock wouldn't be saying what he did to Austin's face, leading to a rare situation of the crowd going dead on Austin during the promo, with both crossing the line of work and shoot in their promos due to the real-life competition over the top spot in the industry, along with the intrigue of the audience reaction during house show appearances and televised events. The stage is set for the road to WrestleMania 2000 on April 1st to lead to peak business creatively and financially, with talk of an inevitable Austin heel turn getting stronger by the week, and said to happen in the next few months to counter cemented top babyface Rock on the way to what is targeted to be the biggest match of WCW had Jarrett vs. Booker, with Jarrett going over to advance, while Raw had Val vs. Test going 5 minutes, along with a tease of a Kane X-Pac match after Waltman turned heel to join DX. Post-match saw Stephanie saying that she got her memory back and is gonna break from tradition, proposing to Test, who agreed to set the wedding back on. With weddings mysteriously one of the most consistent drawing concepts on wrestling TV, the company is already targeting huge viewership for the eventual wedding ceremony segment. Bill Goldberg's only appearance on the night was a taped interview from earlier in the day in LA from the set of the Ready to Rumble movie, saying that he's going to take the outsiders out of the business and what he did to see that Havoc will be nothing compared to what happens to him the next time they get in the ring. Kurt Angle's first vignette aired going through all his athletic accomplishments in life up until now, saying that the WWF is the next level, hyping him as the most celebrated real athlete in company history 2 weeks from his official debut. The McMahons and DX continued to fight backstage until Kane attacked, leading to Shane taking down Triple H after getting in Vince's face to set up Shane vs. Hunter for the title in the main event. Chris Benoit and Dean Malenco went 4 minutes with Benoit going over after a spectacular diving headbutt from the top of the cage, bringing out the filthy animals and Revolution for the post-match brawl until David Flair attacked with the crowbar. Flair then went to leave the building before being ran over by Kimberly, in a skit that might have been watched and raised some ideas at Titan Towers for the next 2 weeks. Hall and Seed agreed that Hall is gonna lay down for him with a finger poke until Nash was attacked backstage, leading to Hall double-crossing Seed to start the match. Vince McMahon was out first in the Raw main event, introducing Steve Austin as the guest color commentator, Kane as the guest enforcer and Rock as the special timekeeper, with JR and King building it up as a Montreal '97 scenario. WCW had a shorter than usual overrun going 3 minutes past 11, with Scott Hall going over Seed after Bret Hart's interference, building up the turn with Hart and the Outsiders helping each other in back-to-back weeks. Austin continued to go off on Rock's tying the rattlesnake in a nut promo, before Rock and Austin took out the Outlaws with Shane almost having the title won, including him taking 2 legit shots to the head during the match, almost knocking him out from Hunter's knee and Waltman's kick, ending up with Vince accidentally hitting Shane with the belt for the finish. The Shane vs. Triple H title match with McMahon, Rock, Austin and DX all out at ringside, gained over 900,000 viewers to peak the night with a 6.5 rating.